Hey Cancer, how are we today? Just doing our weekly reading, and this week we are looking at a bit of, everything, whatever wants to sort of come out for you, what you need to know right now. I will also be doing a zodiac run through at the end as to, how you're interacting with other zodiac signs at the moment. This week I am using the Lenormand as my main deck. For that run through, we do have the Soul Connection When Two Hearts Meet Love Oracle cards. And starting off today, going back to an old favorite, I've got the a guide for the Advanced Soul, a book of insight here. So we do have quotes and affirmation type messages in that. So we'll sort of have one and see where we go from there. I am finding that they always do connect to the readings in some way. And so just sort of haven't used it for a while. I thought this week would be a good week to bring that one back out now that I have found it. I've still been unpacking a million things around the house. It's been a while now since I've moved, but, unpacking takes a lot longer than packing up a house, apparently. But please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. But Cancer, starting off with that book of insight. Cancer. Okay. All things are in the act of change. Thou thyself in ceaseless transformation and partial decay, and the whole universe with thee. Okay, that's by Marcus Aurelius Antonius. Okay, so obviously older text that we're seeing there with the thou and thee and thy, older text there, but it's pretty much saying that, everything is halfway through change. Everything is constantly changing. So, not only is everything constantly, transforming, but it's also, partially decayed already. It's already old, but also new at the same time, and the whole universe as well. So it's kind of like that aging thing coming through there, that constant change, that you're constantly aging and getting older, which technically is body cells decaying, but then you get new things occurring with each new age that you sort of go into. As we get older, there's new things that arise, but sometimes the new things are elements of decay. Like as we get older, our bones decay, and we develop issues like arthritis and old age type issues, decaying mind issues, but it's a change. It's different to what we were the year before. We can't be young forever, unfortunately. So it's just talking about, that change. In order for change to occur, that, some things, it's that death and rebirth cycle that, in order for things to be reborn into something brand new, other things do need to sort of decay and die out as well. So change is a constant thing where, things are ending in order for new things to start, endings, startings. Is that even a word? I don't know. But I think you would probably understand what I'm talking about there, that, change is a constant flow of things ending and things, new things coming in. All right. Cancer, what does Cancer need to know right now? What's going on for our Cancers? It is summer now in Australia, everyone, so I'm just going to be politely melting for the next couple of months, okay? It's super hot over here at the moment. We've just sort of started hitting into 40-degree days. So, you're going to see me in the next few months. There's going to be a few days where I'm just not functioning properly because of the heat, all right? Okay, so we are getting I just want to see what that's in regard to. Clarify this message for Cancer. What is this? What aspect of Cancer's life is this in regard to, please? Okay, so it's not really wanting to. Is this to do with cancer or a person around cancer or some other aspect of cancer's life? Clarify, please. It's taking me a while to get the full clarification on that, Cancer. But what we're seeing here is, firstly, the letter. Okay, so that's all about communication, texting, phone calls, emails, talking in person, talking online, all sorts of communication. So that coming through as the very first card for you, it's showing us that, some sort of communication is very, very important for you this week, Cancer. And so it's going to play out differently for a few of you, I think, here, because, like I said, it did take me a little while to get to a specific sort of clarification on that, because it's just talking in much more generalized terms. So for some of you, this is going to be for one thing. For some of you, it may be for something else completely. Because I am seeing, here initially, I am seeing like a career kind of impact, but not overly. So it's kind of. I kind of feel that with what we're seeing next, and like I'm sort of saying, sometimes it's that can be a bit of a career inspired cards there. I feel as though rather than career specifically, thinking, Cancer, about you on an individual level, what do you devote majority of your time to? What do you devote majority of your life, your energy, your love towards? Do you devote majority of your time and energy towards work, or is there something else in your life that is actually more important to you, more constantly on your mind? Whether it be love, whether it be, like career, as we said, whether it be, a specific person in your life. I do feel that we're looking at something, that is very, very important to you. This is something that we do have the lily coming through next, which can sometimes talk about career. But it really does talk, overall, it kind of talks about where, if you picture yourself in 20, 30 years from now, what is going to be in your life? What is already in your life now that you envision still being in your life, when it's all said and done? That's what this is. Okay, that's what this is all about. It's that thing that, whether that be a person, for some of you that may be a person. So that may be an easy example to use, that if there's a person in your life right now and you envision that, when your life ends, you want that person to be by your side when it's all said and done. We may be looking at a situation with this person. If this is a career, for example, that if you're maybe you're not doing that career right now, but you really envision the rest of your life, you want to be in that particular field. And, so when it's all said and done, you look back at your life and you go, so glad that I chose that career, and I spent majority of my time and effort with that career focus. All right, so I do feel as though it's something along those lines, whatever that means for you on an individual level, because it is slightly different for everyone here. But it's talking about, really communicating with yourself what that even is in the first place. But there's an important communication in regard to this thing. Some sort of, I feel like for some of you that there's a communication necessary that hasn't taken place as of yet. That I feel like some of you are considering, involving this conversation, involving this. I do feel for a lot of you that it may be a conversation in particular, because, as I've gone through clarifying, later on here. One of the cards I do have is the birds, which does talk about conversations and phone calls specifically. I also do, in that first batch of confirmation there, I do have the garden card, which talks about meeting someone halfway, meeting up with somebody, spending time with somebody. So I do feel for a lot of you that this is a specific conversation that needs to take place here, or will be taking place here, in regard to, look, this is how I envision, I want you by my side. I want this job by my side when it's all said and done. I see this job, this person, this thing in my life long term. Okay, the lily is all about the longevity, the long term, looking at things from a long term perspective, being very emotionally intimate with yourself as well. So that's where we do see that you do need to sort of have a bit of a serious conversation, communicate with yourself on a very emotionally intimate level about what this is for you, and then we do see you moving forward into this key energy where you really are opening the door to that, and whether that be that having that actual conversation, but moving forward where you're opening yourself up, unlocking all the opportunity in front of you with this thing. It does lead to success. There is a lot of success with this key as well. Okay, so I'm not seeing any negative cards here. We're all looking pretty positive. Okay, but just going through what else I have here, we have the anchor with that garden energy. So this is going to be, once again, linking back to that lily energy. This is for your long-term security, your long-term stability in this life, the thing that you want to be your anchor point throughout your entire life here. Like I said, it's a bit hard to explain everything here, because it is such a generalized message, because it is so individual thing, like it's such an individual thing for each and every one of you that may be watching. So you really need to work out what that is that resonates with that within your own personal life, whether this is a person that you envision this person as your anchor through life, or is it a job that you want that to be, you want to be able to depend on having that job for the rest of your life kind of energy. All right. We do see the garden as well. So meeting this person halfway, meeting this job halfway, starting those discussions, having that meeting where, you do put everything on the table. I feel here. A lot of this I'm getting intuitively as well as we go through, but the meeting can be about a proposition, putting that invitation down, putting that proposition down. This is what I want. This is what I propose. Now I want to meet you halfway. So whether that's you, putting that on the table, or whether that's somebody else putting that on the table, once again, that needs to be you to work out how that resonates for you specifically. We do also see the birds there, that conversation, that talking, that chatter, okay, happening, that talking happening. We also see the coffin energy. So once again, going back to that message we saw with that insight that all things are in the act of change. Okay, so you yourself are in ceaseless transformation as well as partial decay, and the whole universe along with you. So, that death and rebirth just within yourself, needing to end certain things within your life so that you can have this new beginning with this thing that you do want in your life long term. So I feel like for majority of you, this thing that you want long term, it's not currently, a secure part of your life, and you're wanting to make it a secure part of your life. That's why we're seeing that key, because you're opening that door to this thing, to make this part of your life long term. You're having those conversations, you're putting that proposition on the table, you're putting that invitation out there. I want this in my life long term. I need to be able to depend on this long term. I want to be stable and secure with this in my life from here on out. as well as the dog energy. All right, so the dog does talk about, it is a friendship card, but I'm not feeling the friendship aspect. I'm feeling loyalty. Okay, I'm feeling loyalty, that companionship, that this is something that you want alongside you for the rest of your life. Okay, so whatever that is, I feel like for quite a few of you, this, I'm getting that split between career and a person. Okay, so for some of you, this is a person that you want, this person in your life long term, and you're, going to be having those conversations with yourself, and admitting, I feel like admitting to yourself, to some of you, opening your heart up to those emotional vulnerabilities within yourself, and being really honest with yourself there, about the fact that you do want this person, you do perceive this person in your life, long term, that, when it's all said and done, you picture your life with that person there. Others of you, this is a career. All right. So I do feel that we're looking at sort of one or the other for majority of you there. It may be something else for maybe one or two of you, but I am just feeling that split between a person and the career. So, it's kind of going one or the other for majority of you there. All right, so that's what we have for you with that, Cancer. So, it does feel as though that communication is what's really important this week, that, starting that conversation with yourself, and then leading forward into having those conversations with, having that meetup where we talk this through, having those phone calls where we talk this through, whatever that is in your particular situation. But that communication is coming through as very important, in order to secure this long term for yourself. All right. Okay, so we'll have a look at the zodiac run through for you as well, Cancer. That obviously, I just that message was pretty strong. I know when a message is super strong, when I just start talking, and all of a sudden it's like I just can't stop. I just got to get this all out. I've got to go through it all, and boom, there's your message. You know what I mean? So it's like I know that there was a bit of strength behind that message, and that's exactly what needed to be said for you today, Cancer. Okay. Cancer, dealing with Aries, please. True love. Okay. True love comes when you least expect it. All right. So I'm feeling here that for some of you, you may also have Aries placements. The person that you're dealing with may have strong Aries placements, or be an Aries, and there may be a connection with true love involving with that Aries. Now, I'm getting, though, for some of you, you may have an Aries placement as well. Okay. Cancer, dealing with Taurus. Cancer, dealing with Taurus, please. Learn. Let love show you how to learn from each other. So a lot to learn from this Taurus, a lot that you can be teaching this Taurus as well. Okay. Cancer, dealing with Gemini. Cancer, dealing with Gemini. You have cherish. Cherish your relationship with this Gemini. I was just getting intuitively for one of you there that cherish this relationship with Gemini, because you don't know when it will end. You may lose a Gemini. It's not feeling super close, but it's make the most of every moment with this Gemini, okay, if that's you. All right, Cancer, dealing with other Cancer. Cancer, dealing with Cancer. Soul. Your soul is preparing to reconnect. Trust in the process. So if you're dealing with another Cancer that you're not currently in connection with, your soul is getting ready to reconnect with this Cancer. For others of you, this is just talking about you yourself, reconnecting with yourself, trusting in that process. As we did see, being very, back in that initial lily energy there, being very emotionally intimate with yourself here, Cancer. Your soul is preparing to reconnect with yourself. Okay, or reconnect with somebody. Okay. Cancer dealing with Leo. Cancer dealing with Leo. Past lives. Okay, so we reunite with our loved ones over and over again through many different lives. So this Leo may have been in a past life of yours, or connected to you somehow in a past life. For some of you, that Leo has just been, it's letting us know that that you've had a past life with this Leo in this life. If that kind of makes sense, that there's a past life with this Leo. For some of you, I'm kind of getting that your life with Leo is in the past. Okay. It's coming through a few different ways. Okay. Cancer dealing with Virgo. Enlightenment. All right. With enlightenment, there is no separation. We recognize that we are one with the divine. So some of you, Cancer, may have strong Virgo placements yourself. But yeah, there's some sort of enlightenment coming through with this Virgo. So you may be sort of becoming enlightened to something about this Virgo as well. All right. Cancer dealing with Libra. Clarity. Take time to think about your situation to gain clarity. So, that Virgo may even be on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. Definitely, gaining some sort of clarity about this Libra, something being revealed to you about Libra. Cancer dealing with Scorpio. Connection. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable. Okay, so you may have a strong connection with a Scorpio. Cancer dealing with Sagittarius. Labyrinth. Even when you feel lost, there is always a way through the labyrinth. So if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, you may be feeling a little bit lost and confused with that connection at the moment, but keeping in mind that there is always a way through that, okay? You definitely can find your center again with that Sagittarius. Cancer dealing with Capricorn. Cancer's dealing with Capricorn, please. Power. The power of love is like a magnet drawing souls together. So you may be there may be a lot of attraction and passion between you and a Capricorn as well. And a lot of power and strength coming from this Capricorn, I feel. But it draws you to this person. Cancer dealing with Aquarius. Trust. You need to have trust in a relationship in order for it to flourish. So there's maybe a trust issue with a Aquarius. All right. So or you need to just trust this Aquarius a little bit more. All right. And last but not least, Cancer dealing with Pisces. Cancer dealing with Pisces. Let go. Sometimes it's best to let go and let the universe work things out in divine timing. So there may be something that you need to let go of with this Pisces, or some of you may need to let go of this Pisces altogether and, focus on new rather than the Pisces. Okay, there might be something going on with this Pisces. They may be, it may just not be the right time either. Okay. But that's what we have for you today, Cancer. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe if you're not already. I do appreciate that. And hopefully I'll see you all again soon.